Hi Matt, thanks for taking the time tonight to speak to us here at Reds TV.
Pleasure.
Following your recent appointment as first team manager. From a personal point of view, I'd like to start by congratulating you on your new role.
Thank you.
I remember watching you as a player way back in 2006.
Yeah, seems many moons ago.
Yeah. Gary Wild back in charge back then when we was flying high up in the Conference North. For those of fans not lucky enough to see you playing, probably maybe not be aware of yourself, could you tell them a bit about yourself personally and your long running association with the football club?
Yeah, like you say, it's a number of years back now. I remember it vividly. I'd been full time at Kidderminster and Hereford for in the Conference Premier for 10, 11 years, and I'd just stepped out and went part time. And Rod Brown and Gary Wild, I lived locally. I lived in Bromsgrove, and I went and met Rod and Gary, and they sold the club to me, to be honest. And obviously they'd just been promoted to the Conference North, and it was a real exciting times. There was some fantastic games, some big games. We won the Birmingham Senior Cup. I think we beat Birmingham City here, and it was packed, and the ground was rocking. So I've got so many positive memories of the football club. So yeah.
Thank you, Matt. Moving on to this weekend's action, we've got a tough home game at home to Kettering Town on Saturday. 3 p.m. kickoff. It's our last pre-season friendly. You obviously haven't had much time with the squad. Only 2 training sessions, in fact, including tonight. What are you looking for on and off the pitch from the players this week after obviously a difficult set of results pre-season so far?
It's obviously been difficult. You look back. Obviously, I've not watched any of the games other than highlights of a couple, and the pre-season results have been disappointing. I think what we want to do, it's the hardest game. It's a bit of a baptism of fire because it's the toughest game in the pre-season schedule. Kettering at home, who are a good Conference North side. So I think with what we've got, we'll have added probably 4 or 5 players to the squad over the last couple of days, and I think we've just got to try and be more competitive than we have done over the last few weeks, and over time with the addition of new numbers, hopefully better quality, then we'll again continue to be more competitive. I think for now, what it is that it's pretty much the bulk of the squad that have been here over the last few weeks, and it's just going out there, just go and play with a smile on your face. There's been a lot of negativity around, and results have been poor, and I just want them to go out there with a smile on the face, go and enjoy it, because at the end of the day, it's a pre-season game, and there's no points on the table, so there's no worry from that point of view. So go out, enjoy yourself, smile on your face, and obviously try and do enough to stay around the place, because there are going to be a lot of changes.
Thanks, Matt. You might have covered some of these in your previous answer, but at this level, we all know players and playing staff, they come and go on a regular basis. With the club looking to stabilise its position within the league and then hopefully push on at a later date, have you had time to assess the squad, make any changes to it, budget depending? And then obviously from the outset, from a personal point of view, the squad looks maybe did previously a bit on the small side. I'm guessing they probably won't need a wrecking ball, some good quality players here already. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, the players have took a lot of knocks, just based on the results, and I think if my honest assessment is, and I've told the boys that on Tuesday when I introduced myself, that the bottom line is, results don't lie. Even though it's only been pre-season, to I think play 9 games and lose 7 or lose 8, it tells you, and especially against lower level teams, it's telling you that the bottom line is that dressing room is just not good enough, and it doesn't matter how you dress it up. It doesn't matter, this name's been mentioned, that name's been mentioned, but the dressing room is just not good enough. And I think, and I said to them that everybody it's a clean slate. It is a clean slate for everyone, but there has got to be more quality brought into the dressing room, because if there isn't, then the results will continue to be the same, and that's something I'm just not prepared to do. I've come in here for a reason. Normally when a manager loses his job and a manager comes in, it's for a reason, and that's to put a bit of stability in the club and improve the results, and that's what we aim to do.
Really appreciate that honest answer there, Matt. Speaking of players, Jermaine Pennant was brought in. He's brought a lot of media coverage to the club, but news on him seems to have gone quiet recently. Him not playing, picked up an injury. How's Owen? Have you had a chance to speak to Jermaine, or have you heard anything about it?
No. You probably know as much as me. What I would say is that obviously Jermaine's, what a fantastic career he's had. Brilliant. By him being around the club, it's obviously drawn a lot of media attention. Someone of that profile is fantastic, but I think what I need is I need players that are going to make a difference on the pitch. It's great to have all the media attention, but I'll be judged, and the boys in the dressing room will be judged on results. Not how many likes we get on Twitter or wherever. So I'll be looking. I've not had any contact with Jermaine, and the door's always open.
Appreciate that, Matt. It's great, obviously, welcoming fans back again to the Trico following a difficult period of sport around the world. How important is it to have an atmosphere, obviously, towards the players' confidence, the club in general, having a connection with the fans again? How do you think that would be?
I think it's massive. We touched on the probably the glory days of conference and all football, when the crowds were really good and the club were winning things, and I think it's really, really important that we try and get a positive mentality around the club. What the club has been surrounded by is like a kind of a grey cloud of negativity. Last season, I think 26, 27 games on the bounce, they got beat, and I just can't get my head around that. And I think the new chairman's come in, he's got a different vision. And what we want to do is just change the outside perception of the football club, and you can only do that by getting positive results, and you can only get positive results by getting better players in, and and again, that's what we're going to do, and that's the aim. I want this place to be rocking, and it's not going to rock unless they've got something to cheer about, and that's getting results. So yeah, that's the focus.
Same again, I think. You're very good at answering my next question here, but obviously last season didn't go well, putting it mildly. 27 defeats from the 33 games we had.
Yeah.
We understand as fans it can take time to put things right, but looking at it positively, the club can now probably put this as a cause, as a mission to say to put the wrongs right. The club better than most. When backed with the fans, this obviously place can be a hard place for away teams to come to. Can we hope for possibly an upturn in results next season?
Without a doubt. If I didn't feel that there would be an upturn, I wouldn't put my name to it. I've had a break for a long time, and I was looking for the right opportunity, and this came along, and it was something I was desperate to get my hands on. And without a doubt, the first thing that we've got to do is get a team out there that can be more competitive, because they've not been over the course of the last 18 months or so, and that's be more competitive. If we're more competitive, we will get better results, and that's what the aim is. Perfect.
Cheers, Matt. We touched on earlier, the club, you're in a unique position of being a former club captain, assistant manager, the club's DNA. You've got a great, obviously, local knowledge of the football in general of the area.
Yeah.
Fans are obviously, they're honest here. They forgive bad games, the odd sloppy pass. Obviously, they're not too concerned about that. But obviously, we always require the players to wear their hearts on their sleeve and obviously try. As a manager, what does it mean to yourself to do full circle, for instance, from player, club captain, and obviously now in the position that you're in?
Yeah, and I think this goes for most players that go into that play the game and they go into the other side. There'll be certain clubs that during your career where you'll have a genuine affinity, and I think being here 4 years, winning things, the Birmingham Senior Cup, playing conference and football for the club for the first time, captaining the club to some great things. I think you naturally, my intention was always to one day, come back and manage the club. I had experience, and I really enjoyed my time as assistant manager with Paul Smith, who's fantastic, and I really did genuinely believe that one day I'll come back and manage. And when I got the opportunity to do that, it was something I couldn't turn down, because it is, it's a sleeping giant, and I would love to be the person that can, turn the tide and put smiles back on people's faces.
Great to hear, Matt. Thank you. Be glad to hear. Final question of the night. We start the season a week Saturday.
Yeah.
Home game against Kevin Horlock's Needham Market.
Yeah.
I don't know if you recall, but February 2009, you was in the dugout with Paul that you mentioned just earlier on. A very entertaining 4-1 victory.
Yeah.
Could have gone either way. 3 penalties in that game.
Yeah.
How do you see the game going this time around? Obviously, season starting.
Yeah, I think it's very, very difficult. The start of a new season. Obviously, there's always going to be a lot of optimism from both sides. Needham, I said to the boys on Tuesday that because of what's happened with the football club over the course of the last 12 months, when the fixtures came out, every single team, and I've got to be realistic and honest, every single team in the league, they're rubbing their hands and they're like, oh, we've got Redditch. Everybody wants to play Redditch. Everybody wants to play Redditch because they'll see that a manager's gone and there'll be upheaval. And like I said, I've got to change that mentality of the boys there. But it's a new season, it's a fresh start, and anything can happen. What Needham did last season doesn't really matter because they'll have been changing their dressing room as well. We're having them watch at the weekend, and so we'll have a good idea of how they play, how they're going to line up against us, and it'll be, there's just going to be such a change you can't really tell at the start.
Brilliant.
But we're definitely positive.
Thank you. Brilliant. Really appreciate your time there.
And one last thing as well, to all you Redditch United fans, do not forget the £99 season tickets. Go and get yourself one.